Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
After 9/11, America began to prepare international opinion for executing its plan. The most important reason it put forward was Iraq's possession of weapons of mass destruction. In January 2002, Bush described Iraq, Iran and North Korea as an axis of evil. These states were accused by Bush as not only seeking to possess weapons of mass destruction, but also intent on giving them to terrorists.
States like these and their terrorist allies constitute an axis of evil, arming to threaten the peace of the world. The United States of America will not permit the world's most dangerous regimes to threaten us with the world's most destructive weapons.
In reality, the American administration had no intention of military intervention in Iran or North Korea. The real reasons that Bush had included Iran and North Korea in his speech were firstly to attempt to demonstrate that Iraq was not being solely targeted, otherwise his administration would find itself in a difficult position before the American and world public opinion. Secondly, if Bush had spoken only about Iraq or Iran, then it would appear as a new crusade against Muslims. Therefore, North Korea was a third ideal state to choose because it is not Islamic and it was already portrayed as an enemy of America. Statements were therefore quickly issued about the possible use of weapons of mass destruction by Iraq.
The danger to our country is grave. The danger to our country is growing. And according to the British government, the Iraqi regime could launch a biological or chemical attack in as little as 45 minutes after the order were given.
The officials of the Bush administration depended on analysis made by the Western intelligence agencies, but their aim was not to verify Iraq's possession of weapons of mass destruction, only to highlight the subject so that it became a pretext for war.
I cannot tell you everything that we know, but what I can share with you, when combined with what all of us have learned over the years, is deeply troubling. What you will see is an accumulation of facts and disturbing patterns of behavior. You will now hear an officer from Republican Guard headquarters issuing an instruction to an officer in the field on January 30th.
توجيه السيد رئيس اليوم بالمؤتمر. لا فتشون الاعتداء اللي عندكم.
At this ballistic missile site on November 10th, we saw a cargo truck preparing to move. At this biological weapons-related facility on November 25th, just 2 days before. At this ballistic missile facility, again, 2 days before inspections began, 5 large cargo trucks appeared, along with the truck-mounted crane.
Although for the neoconservatives, even the remote possibility of weapons of mass destruction in Iraq was a dangerous threat to Israel, which they viewed as vital to their interests in the region. The distinct possibility of Saddam giving weapons of mass destruction to terrorists was also raised by the neocons as another serious threat.
Evidence from intelligence sources, secret communications, and statements by people now in custody reveal that Saddam Hussein aids and protects terrorists, including members of Al-Qaeda. Imagine those 19 hijackers with other weapons and other plans, this time armed by Saddam Hussein.
I continue to be amazed at the people who say there are no links. It simply isn't true. What hasn't been established is a direct link between Saddam's intelligence and the 9/11 plotters, although even there is evidence that suggests very possibly facilitation and assistance to the 9/11 hijackers.
Furthermore, America has another major objective which she frequently emphasizes: the struggle against political Islam.
The struggle against Soviet totalitarianism was a struggle between fundamental value questions, good and evil is about as effective a shorthand as I can imagine in this regard. And there's something rather similar going on in the war on terror. It isn't a war on terror. It's a war on terrorists who wanted to impose an intolerant tyranny on all mankind, an Islamic universe in which we are all compelled to accept their beliefs and live by their lights. And in that sense, this is a battle between good and evil.
All Iraqis who take the side of freedom have taken the winning side.
She aims to spread freedom, democracy and secular human rights across the Muslim world by making Iraq a centre for spreading these Western false values.
I believe that freedom is the future of the Middle East, because I believe that freedom is the future of all humanity.
America therefore desperately needs to create a secular political class and strives to lay down an educational curriculum which will mould the minds of future generations against political Islam and the re-establishment of the Khilafah, which would be the major obstacle to her plans.